that and you get it, then you're gonna be, up a creek. And in a minute, we're gonna, of course, I want to bring Claudia on with her tip because she got some images she wants to show us, and I'm gonna talk about that. And set us up, Claudia. What is it that you're wanting to do?
What's she whispering?
She's back in the Joni's back there whispering. Tell her we can hear her.
Well, first of all, hey, thank you, because I was downtown Nashville and I have building pictures, and now I know why they're leaning a little bit. And yeah, learned that today. So it's always great to be on a show. Thanks for that. But I was going to show you some pictures I took with my first prime lens, which was that 50 millimeter. And I wanted to add that on a cropped sensor, it's actually got it multiplied by 1.6. So the 50 is actually about 80 millimeter.
Okay.
So that's, for everybody.
Christopher is leaning way back because I know what he's going to say. Go ahead, dude. Just quickly, Christopher, enlighten us on that fact of the crop ratio. What is actually happening right there?
You're just losing some of the image. That's it. It doesn't change the distortion. So if you have, say, a 50 and you're thinking it's shooting like an 85, shoot it against an 85 and you'll see that it's the distortion's not the same. It's a crop sensor. You just have less sensor. And so what they've sold it as look, it's almost like, if you have this 300 millimeter lens, you're actually getting like 450 it's 300 millimeters just with less
of it.
And in a lot of the cases though, you're hitting a sweeter part of the lens too. So
yeah, you are getting what they call a sweet spot. But as he just instructed us, you're really not getting an 85, you're getting a cropped 50.
Gotcha.
But go ahead and finish though, Claudia, because I know you got some great shots here. I'm looking at one of them now.
Yeah. So this was actually, on 1.8. This dog was in a very, very dark dog house. Didn't want to come out, but we needed pictures for the rescue. And that's what this lens gives you. It adds so much light that you think, daylight was shining in this doghouse.
Right.
And I was not able to do this with my regular lens at 3.5.
Right.
So we got this dog, and it's looking like pretty good daylight. It was probably 7 o'clock at night in the fall.
Right. And what was your settings? Do you remember?
It was 6400 ISO in the 50th of a second.
Okay, so you bumped that ISO up to get
because it was really dark already.
Okay, very good. As you can see, the depth of field is still there because you did it at 1.8, as you said. So you still got that nice depth of field, that blurred background that you're looking for. Now we're going to show this next one, and this one is at a different, of course, with a different lens, if I'm correct.
No, it's the same lens.
Oh, okay, so
I just wanted to show how much light I should have taken the picture how dark it really was.
Right.
It was dark. I could barely see the dog myself. Okay. But that's what the lens gives you at a 1.8 aperture. So much extra light.
So much more light.
Yeah.
It's almost like having, I compare it to having a hose pipe, where it's, the same on each end. And you're going to get the same volume coming out as you get in. But if you put a restrictor on it, or if you put something smaller at one end, you're not going to get the same water. You're going to get more pressure, but you won't get the same volume. But in any case, what's this next shot right here?
Here's one where I wanted to show, just like Jeff had earlier with the little girl, how you get the eyes in focus and everything falls off and it's blurry, which you can't do with a regular kit lens. This was taken at 1.8 as well. Mm-hmm. And I just like when the eyes are in focus and the rest gets very soft.
And what's that setting again? What's the setting?
That was a ISO 800 and it was a thousandth of a second.
1,000th of a second.
Uh-huh.
And what's the depth of, what's the F number?
At 1.8.
1.8. And the depth of field, you kept it pretty good. I mean, it's like, and one trick that you can do, and a lot of people don't think about this, if you have a shallow depth of field, if you're using like a wide aperture, you have to understand how depth of field works, because you have an equal amount. They're not the same, but you have an equal amount of depth of field in front of the focus point and behind the focus point. So what you want to do, if you're having trouble getting something to be focused between two subjects, you focus between those subjects and narrow that depth of field. That way it appears that they're both in focus. But most people will focus on one subject, say two people. Say if you got two people and one standing behind the person and you're using a 1.8 aperture, you're going to have somebody it's going to be blurred. You're just not going to be able to get around that. But in any case, let's go to your next shot that you wanted to show us. And what's this right here?
So here is the one. Can you show the other one first?
Yeah.
And then go back to this one.
Okay.
This is from the same position. This is with the 50 millimeter. That was my first prime lens that I bought. Okay. And I always ran into problems not having enough things on my picture. I'm missing a lot of on the left and the right when I'm taking dog pictures indoors. Right. I have to, in people's houses, I'm glued to the back wall just trying to get this dog in the picture. Can't move any further. And, a little bit of the tail of the back end was cut off. Right. And that's with the crop sensor that, thank you, Chris, for explaining this better to me. That's why I went out and bought that 28 millimeter. And if you show now this other picture, you get so much more in the frame with the aperture that you need, like for indoor, and get all the light you can get on the sensor. That's why I bought that second prime lens, the 28 millimeter. So I get my dogs indoors on the frame, in the frame.
So you're having the best of both worlds in respect of light, getting enough light, and because you're dealing with a crop sensor. We may do a show